I haven't figured out which hinges I'm going to be buying from you, but I need to also coordinate. I'm converting some sliding closets, sliding door closet doors into hinge doors, and I need to retrofit the existing jambs and the new door slabs with. I want to router them so that they're machined properly. Do you have jigs? I'm on the tools, but I can't seem to find it.
What do you need to mortise?
I'm sorry?
What do you need to mortise?
For the new hinges. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I need I've seen online where they have these jigs where you can router around so you can get the perfect machining in there, or the milling.
Oh yeah. What size hinge are you mortising for?
I haven't figured that out yet. So the doors are going to be 1 3/4 inch solid doors. So I have to go. Didn't get a chance to survey the rest of the hinges to see if they're 3 or 3.5. I'm definitely going to have 3 hinges, and I'm leaning more towards ball bearing hinge because they're going to be heavier doors. But I haven't figured all that yet. But I just want to line up, the other tools that I'll need so I can practice with them on some slabs.
Yeah. Why do butt hinges, and why not do something more like a concealed hinge like SOSS?
I haven't thought of it, to be honest with you. I'm used to working with the concealed with the mortise hinges. Okay. I'm just used to working with them. But I'm open to your suggestions. So can you give me a part number I can look at so I can see if that will work for me?
216 US 10B as in Bravo.
216 UF 10B.
Uniform Sierra US.
Gotcha. 216 US 10B. These are more for cabinet doors, aren't they?
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
No. They're ideally suited for most applications. And what makes them nice about your application is, well, they're concealed. The best hardware is the hardware you never see. And weight's not an issue. I mean, the 216 may not be the right size, depending on.
Of course, yeah. I'll think about it. Oh, but that will be an easier recess, you're saying?
I didn't say that. In fact, I think for you it would not be an easier recess only because of the current level of familiarity.
Yes. I don't know. Let me think about it. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing something like this. Do you have the jigs that I could buy for this, for the door jamb and the door slam, the slab?
Yeah, that's the advantage of this, is that the template's probably $25. Doing hinges, that could end up being equally inexpensive, or it could be something where you rent a tool, like the Porter Cable hinge butt template kit. I think I've got one that you can rent from me if you wanted. But, the rental alone would be far more than it's worth. How many doors do you have to do?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So a good number.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. 8,
yeah,
maybe 12 total. Yeah.
Okay, so you obviously have to do a site survey to see whether or not the SOSS concept is actually compatible. It may or may not be. You would want to look at the template. You would want to digest that, and then ask questions about that template and how you'd go about doing it. The reason they're nice is that they're the most elegant approach to hanging a door. Okay, having said that, I am sure that there are really inexpensive hinge butt template kits out there. Probably the easiest thing for you to do would be just to rent my, I have these for rent. It's the Porter Cable. It's literally called the hinge butt template kit. Yeah, so just to finish my thought, you could rent the hinge butt template kit. The advantage of that is you're going to set it up with all 3 hinges at once, nail it to the door, then nail it to the jamb, and you're going to take the kit and just relocate it door to jamb, and just keep going.
Yeah.
And that would be the way to go, unless you want to purchase a tool that you may or may not need in the future. And if you do, then I'd have to look at it. But there's, of the
Do you
thousands.
sell that Porter cable set?
It's been discontinued, and I'm pretty sure I've got at least 2 or 3 brand new ones here. I don't know that I'm emotionally prepared to part with them permanently.
Okay.
Because of the thousands of doors I've machined, this is the bee's knees.
Gotcha.
Now, but you can also find them on eBay. So that's not a big deal. I don't remember the part number. Anyway, you said that you've seen it. It's the one with the steel rails that you connect all the templates together.
Yeah, I've seen it. To be honest with you, it seems a little bit clumsy.
God. No,
yeah.
not at all. That's
no? Okay.
only said by someone who's never used it.
Okay.
The clumsiness that you
used
perceive is way outweighed by its portability, because you set it once, and then, and obviously you spot check, but then you're not worried about, oh gosh, did I measure 7-inch or 7 3/16? Or did I put 8-inch? And that's what's nice about this kit. Once you connect the rails, your center to center, your top to top, whatever, unless you've jarred the kit somehow, the template, it's going to stay. And when you study the template, you'll probably have questions because it's a nail biter initially.
But when it comes to doors, I used to do the old method where you mark it manually and then you chisel it out. And yeah, I just want something a little, because I have so many doors to do right now, and I just don't have the time to really sit there and chisel it. And
the router is
it's the way to
caliper.
go.
The router is the woodworker's best tool. Caliper, then the router.
I remember years ago. It must have been over 40 years, because I was working with my father, who taught me a lot of this stuff. Stanley had this very rudimentary hinge template, like that we use, but it was the kind that you hit down, you hammer it, and then you manually chisel it.
Yeah, it's just basically a marking tool, is what it is.
Exactly.
What it was. Yeah. Oh, it works. I mean, it scores it for you. Gives you some boundaries to work towards. Yeah,
but I need something a little more elegant, in the approach, because I'm going to do so many of this, and plus the doors are nicer, so I don't want to. I don't want to screw up the door.
Yeah, you want to standardize also the process.
That's true.
And then all I was saying about the butts was, if you're going to order them, if you can, do what we would call commercial grade. So if you're going to do, if they're 1 3/4, you're going to do a 4-inch hinge.
I was looking at the Hager BB1279, the 3.5 by 3.5. That's where I started my thing. But I'm gonna reevaluate my approach now that you're talking about the different brands.
I wouldn't use the 1541 thickness. Go with a BB1279 if you have to use Hager. What finish are you thinking about doing?
Satin nickel, I'm thinking. Well, I'll take that back. There's going to be some doors that I'm going to have the stainless, because some of them are in the bathroom, and I hate when the hinges look rusty when you open a door. You know what I mean, when you open and close the door. So in the bathroom, in the high moisture areas, I'm going to use a stainless version of that, and the rest are going to be satin nickel. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hager's okay with satin nickel and steel-based satin nickel. I don't love their non-ferrous brushed finish, which would be a BB1191, because they have, I've noticed, running mill out on the edge of the leaf, so that if you put a caliper on it on multiple places, the hinge isn't the same thickness everywhere.
Really? That drives me crazy. So who do you recommend, Richard? I'm sorry?
Stanley, period. Lights out. McKinney's good. Hager's at the bottom of my list because of and if you were going to go with oil rubbed, it's their finish on their oil rubbed is awful. And I've met a Hager. They're in their 7th generation family. These are just facts. So if it was me, I would order Stanley, who is now, they'll be called Best, which is a reference to Best Lock from Indianapolis. Frank Best started the company in the 20s, as in the 1920s. That's who I would personally, if I wasn't using something elegant and I had to use a butt hinge, Stanley would be my absolute first choice. Inexpensive. The fit and finish is superior, period, every single time.
Really? Oh, I'm surprised to hear that with Stanley. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So, do you have a part number that I should look up?
So it'd be for Stanley. It'd be an FBB179, steel-based, and non-ferrous would be FBB191. And you can send me an email, and I'll send you back a catalog link and a reference to a page number.